Okay guys, so this last little bit that we're going to do is going to be, or this first little bit we're going to do, excuse me, is going to be using that mole ratio that we discovered last lesson and finding how we switch between substances in a balanced equation. So here, this is not in your textbook, so just jot down example with me, and we're going from mole to mole. This is called a mole-to-mole conversion. Now, here in a minute, I'm going to show you a flow chart, but just know that the general rule is you got to go from moles of A, which is your known substance, to moles of B, which is your unknown substance. That's hideous. Ugh. To moles of B, which is your unknown. So that's how you want to be able to convert between them. And how do we do this? Well, we use that mole ratio we looked at last time. In 11.1 we talked about mole ratios. So first things first, I want you to write this equation down. CO2 plus LiOH yields Li2CO3, but add water over here. This was not correctly written in the text, so when it copied in, it came incorrectly. Now, if you will, we're going to read through this. The carbon dioxide is exhaled by astronauts and can be removed from a spacecraft by reacting with lithium hydroxide as follows. An average person exhales about 20 moles of CO2 per day. How many moles of LiOH would be required to maintain 2 astronauts in a spacecraft for 3 days? So we're going to deal with that last bit in a minute. Just know we've got moles of CO2 and they want moles of LiOH, so it's a mole to mole problem. We got to write a balanced equation first. So up here you can write it, but I'm going to rewrite it down here. So it's CO2 plus LiOH. I'll get lithium carbonate, and that 3 right there is because lithium is a -2 charge, and water. So here, let's go balance. Carbon on the left is 1, carbon on the right is 1. Then I've got, I'm going to come back to oxygen. Let's look at lithium. 1 on the left, 2 on the right, so I need to put a 2 over here on the left. Let's go look at hydrogen. I've got 2 on the left because I put that 2 in front, so 2 times 1 is 2. And then I've got 2 on the right. Last but not least, let's look at our oxygens. I've got 2 here, and I've got 2 from the LiOH, so I've got 4 total on the left. Then I've got 3 here, and I've got 1 here, so I've got 4 total on the right. So we're good. This is balanced. It just needed a 2 in front of LiOH. Determine the moles of a given substance. So we already know that. It's given to us in moles, thank goodness. And we're going to convert that. So that's where I'm going to start, wherever you just wrote it. I just don't have enough space. I'm going to convert that. And a conversion is a railroad tracks. And I'm going to go from moles of A to moles of B. So I'm just going to write B here, which what was B? It was LiOH. A is what they give you the number for. B is what you're looking for. So I'm going to put moles of LiOH right here. And then what's got to be on the bottom? It's got to cancel. Well, when I do that and I see moles over moles, that's that mole ratio we're talking about. And the numbers are your coefficients. It's just the ratio that we get from the balanced equation. So look at LiOH and CO2. Well, for every 1 CO2, there are 2 LiOHs. Notice, I don't care about either of these products. I just need to know how much lithium hydroxide I've got to have. So, here in this railroad tracks, these 2 cancel, and now I'm going to do my math. Hopefully you know that 20 times 2 is 40. And that's moles of lithium per person per day. Per person per day. So 40 is where I'm starting. And normally for these problems, that's where you end. But it tells me I've got 2 people. So there's 2 of them. That's got to be 80 moles of lithium per day. And then it tells me that they're there for 3 days. So don't stress over this stuff. It normally won't be in these questions. just read carefully. I would need 240 moles of lithium hydroxide to get these 2 astronauts through 3 days without dying of asphyxiation. Here though, this really bugs me because my sig figs aren't right, so just know this actually has 2 sig figs, not 3, and it should only have 1. So technically I would put 200 moles, but we don't want our friends to die, so we're going to leave 240 as the answer. So if you get stuck on these at any point, just shoot me an email. This is difficult, but you've got to do the practice problems.